Welcome everybody to our stream, our new podcast. We're in episode 2, and I'm your host, Crimson Sin, with my partner in crime.
And it's me, M15 again. I'm saying my gamer tag name this time.
Okay, kind of a slow week, but there's a couple stories we're going to cover. The first one is going to be, in our last episode we mentioned, the Mesa Zap Con we went to, and was better than last year's. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, way better. In terms of
it
quality of games.
Yeah, much better games
there. Oh,
a couple of vendors, you know, they were selling some used games, you know, selling Contra for $50-some, like, you know, everyone else.
Oh yeah, we always have a big problem about that every time we go to used game zone. It's Contra, folks. I don't care how popular
Contra
it is.
for $50 on the NES. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I guess that's the going rate. I don't know. But we actually got to play a lot of the newer pinball games that they had there. Rod Zombie, Aerosmith, the new Ghostbusters pinball machine. Yeah, that was really cool. And yeah, people were pretty
it was a lot of fun.
courteous this time. I remember last year people were a little bit more hoggy on the games. But this time it seemed a little bit better.
People were more than generous.
And the
well,
more
funny, I
fighting
actually
games
went
too,
to
which was
the
cool.
forums and I complained about that. Yeah, definitely.
Got to play some SNK vs. Capcom 2, beat a couple of people. That's always fun. You get that, you know, playing online is different than playing with people in an actual arcade standing next to you. It's a totally different experience. You don't get
old school. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, I mean, how often do you get to do that?
No, not anymore. I mean, you're playing against an opponent halfway around the world now. You're not even playing anyone within, you know.
When you're standing next to them, it's different.
Very. And
yeah,
that was
a good
great.
setup. Lots of games. Though, one of the complaints I would say is, since they had so many games, that the cabinets are really close to each other. So playing 2 players on some of these games was a little tough.
Yeah, and the positioning or they put some of the games more sense. Like, why would you put the Hobbit on a pinball machine that's only a year old, you know, in a section that was super tight? It was hard putting the line going for that game. It was so compacted. People were running into you. We were kind of in people's way. Yeah. I mean, it just made it so much more frustrating to try
when you wanted to like stand in line, it was hard to do because then you're standing in the middle of the aisle, and people are trying to walk by, and like, yeah, it was a little bit messy in some spots, but overall, I thought well worth the price. It was fun.
Oh yeah, $20 for a day. It was great.
But,
I mean, a lot of fun.
I also took a whole bunch of pictures, and I'll put a link to that in the description on my Imager album. So if you want to check out all the different games and a bunch of all the arcade machines, old and new. And they also had the NES Lounge that they had last time, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The classic Atari games and stuff like that.
Playing the 2600 games, you know, even sitting the way I did as a little kid, just sitting there playing them on an old TV. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. 70s consoles on 70s TVs on what I'm guessing is a 70s couch.
Yeah. I know it doesn't relate to this year's Zapcom. I remember last year, I was seeing little kids with Atari 600. They didn't know how to put the card in the game. And I'm just sitting there looking at them like, I know this is old school to me. I've been doing this for, you know, ever, but I thought that was kind of funny to see little kids struggling with that. When these kids can take an iPad and program it forwards and backwards and get an Atari card into the system.
Yeah, like they don't know like even like how to play the game. Like these the Atari games, if you didn't have the instruction manual, some of those games you wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah. Well, with Atari it was kind of bad, but when you got to Intellivision, forget it. If you didn't have the keypad, you were done. Definitely. So those old games required a certain level of skill level. If you didn't know, once you knew it, it's fine. But you had to first know it, though. That's the thing. So that was definitely a good convention overall. I would say overall, like I said, the vendors' prices were a little bit more reasonable. That is the first time I actually bought a couple items. They were reasonably priced.
Oh yeah, the little
which I really
buttons
thought
and
was
stuff.
a nice welcome from pastors. Yeah, which I thought were really nice. So I thought, like, again, that was great. And again, the thing is, it's family.
Oh yeah, family friendly all the way.
All the way. Yeah, that's what I like about it. So bring your family if you live in the Mesa area or in Arizona. I recommend you should go do it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's once a year.
Definitely.
definitely pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So next on the list of topics, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is coming out on Friday, and it looks we're definitely gonna go see it. I have avoided all reviews, and like I haven't. Of course, you know, you get the commercials where they're bragging about, you know, everyone loving it and stuff. So for the most part, I'm guessing people are liking the film. Like, for the most part. You get these people that I've seen a couple clips here and there of like people on Reddit saying, "Oh, the first one was better," and kind of hating on it a little bit. But for the most part, I'm thinking it's going to be a very positively good movie.
I mean, you can't expect the same movie again. That's just kind of such a high standard to make if you wanted that kind of movie. You know, it's got to move the story forward. You can't expect the same kind of emotional gravitas the first one had, I think. I mean, you were kind of shooting too hard for the stars if you were expecting that.
Yeah.
Personally.
It's definitely going to be different. I don't know what some people wanted. I didn't look too much into it, but I avoid, for the most part, I avoid all reviews on movies. Especially movies I know I'm going to go see anyways.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let someone on the internet tell me not to go see a movie I like. Yeah. It's definitely getting the good buzz, and it's already made, I think, $100 million already, because it comes out internationally first, which is always funny if you ask me. Like, we get it last. I guess they do that because of pirating, because in other countries they're going to just pirate it anyways.
From China particularly. Yep, definitely. That's a big thing in China, so they might as well get their money now, so that way that doesn't happen.
Yeah, they get that first initial run.
Mm-hmm. And then over here, people are going to go see it regardless. They don't want to see it in the theater, so that's how that works here. That's why we have to wait.
Yeah, it's just so funny. You think we're getting shit, but they do it for economic reasons.
Yeah, they're not doing it for any other reason. Like, we're trying to get you. No, it's nothing like that. No, definitely not. So yeah, definitely, I'm going to go see it. I'm excited. I think the characters look just as good as ever. I think it's such a great dynamic that whole crew have. You know, Peter Quill,
yeah,
Rocket, and the whole thing. I mean, it just...
It's a bunch of fun people to watch.
Definitely. It's not just, you know, oh, okay, you know, we're just here doing this. You know, they actually really care about the characters and really enjoy, and they really believe in what they're doing, you know. And that just makes such a difference when you're doing a superhero movie.
Especially at the big team movies. You got to believe that the team actually cares about each other.
Yeah, exactly. It can't be just oh, we're an ensemble and we're here, we're doing this, you know. It can't be that.
No, we're not making any parallels to the Justice League. Well, that's a tale for another day. So, Guardians of the Galaxy looks cool. We're definitely checking it out. And next, we're going to talk about the new Nintendo 2DS XL. Man, these names of these handhelds from Nintendo, they just... I don't know.
They're so original.
It's cool. It's cheap. It's a cheap price, which is fun. I'm glad it's not really expensive. But I don't know who this is really for, because if you're gonna get a 2DS DS, you definitely want something that's cheap. You bought it because it was cheap and durable. Now it has a hinge and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. How durable is it? It's more like a 3DS now. That was kind of the main selling point. It was supposed to be kid-proof practically. I mean, yeah, if you're dropping it down a 2-story building, you were pretty much gonna be okay. And
of course, Nintendo can just release anything. It doesn't matter what they release anymore.
Well, it's their defenders. They're gonna, you know, the White Knights, we like to call them. They just will always, no matter what Nintendo does, it's the right thing. So they'll buy it because that's just how they are.
And then people always say, well, what about the Wii U? I think the Wii U failed because people didn't know it was a new console. Like that.
Oh, the naming was terrible.
Yeah, people thought it was just an upgrade to the Wii or like a new screen or something, but this Switch 2DS, I mean, they could just print 2DS just prints money.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make money, no doubt about it.
And the special editions they'll sell for crazy. But we saw again at Zap Con, we saw the Pokemon edition for the 2DS XL was like $300, and that's a used one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, remember the red one we saw there?
I mean, just hearing that's insane. Oh yeah, this is used.
Crazy expensive.
Used, guys. It's already. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything new. It's not anything better than the other one, except for the screen's a little bit bigger, and I guess it can play some of those Super Nintendo games or whatever that you needed the faster processor for. That's in the new 3DS. I guess in the 2DS now.
To play old Super Nintendo games, that just floors me. Like, how's that even bad? How come you can't just do it on the old 2DS? That makes no sense.
You know, you just get those people that have every version of the handhelds. So this is gonna be like fifth 3DS basically.
No. And well, the problem with these people, 90% of them have more handhelds than they have games for these systems. That's the kicker. Like, what? Okay. I mean, what are you really collecting there at that point, you know? I mean, what are you doing it because you're Nintendo fanboy, or are you doing it because you actually like the systems? Like, gets to that point where it's like the return's not worth the investment. Price. I mean, you can spell your money what you want, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
The Nintendo handhelds they're great systems, but when you're buying multiple versions, it gets a little ridiculous. But I don't make money, so what the hell are we talking about? I guess we don't know what we're talking about because it still makes money.
Yeah, I know they're printing money. I mean, well, they got 10 billion in the bank, so they know they're doing something right at Nintendo.
And lastly, we are going to talk about what was that last? Oh yeah, you know, I can't believe I keep forgetting that. But yeah, the Defenders had a new trailer on Netflix. Looked pretty good.
Yep.
We're finally getting the team together. It's cool to see Iron Fist and Luke Cage together because in the comics they're like super best friends, and then kind of seeing that beginning of that friendship, which I think is probably the best part of the whole trailer.
Oh yeah, because you get to see that come, you know. Yeah, because also in the same trailer you see Jessica Jones and Daredevil together. Not really exactly that's been known to work. They've had their run-ins. It wasn't like Iron Fist and Luke Cage, you know. That wasn't a dynamic duo fighting the streets, you know, fighting the street criminals and all that. So it's cool to see that being finally shown on the small screen. You know, seeing it is just incredible. Personally, I think. Luke Cage with his street smarts, going out there trying to clean up the city from people of the show like Cottonmouth, you know, early on was trying to take over the streets and saying, well, I don't want Harlem to end in the fall, that kind of pit that they want to do of like corruption and all that. Yeah. So I thought that was real interesting to have him there.
I also like
and you have Danny Rand, you know, on the other side of that.
You get there was a line in the trailer where like a lady says, "Oh, what do you think you're doing?" Whatever. And he's like, "Well, I'm just helping people. I know I'm not going to be able to stop every bad thing from happening to everybody, but I want to help people." And I think that's a noble thing.
Yeah, that's another
do what you can with what you have.
Yeah, she's the white nurse in the Marvel comics. She kind of helps the good guys and bad guys, but in this version, she only helps the good guys. So she's kind of one that patches up the vigilantes of the street and all that. So that's kind of her job.
The vigilante health insurance.
And it's funny. Also, too, she was also with Luke Cage during the Luke Cage show, so they had a thing going towards the end of that too. So, because he's kind of a ladies' man, but you can tell why he would be. He has that kind of.
Yeah, he's a handsome dude. That's what he's
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. But it's cool to see that street level team come together, and people want, you know, they wanted the MCU and everything. But I think it's cool where it's at. You know, we can't have Daredevil fighting Thanos. That just doesn't make any sense. What is he gonna do? Sue him?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, they are part of the same universe. It's just keep it, you know, in its own kind of way. You know, the Defenders are fine to do that. I thought it was funny because the actress who played in Jessica Jones, she was asked that very question with Jimmy Kimmel one time, like, oh, do you want to, like, you know, be fair with the Defenders? They go, no, we're doing our thing over here, the small thing, and they could do the more universal fun.
Yeah, fighting giant aliens
space monsters, basically. That's kind of out of our realm of view, you know, which I think is fine. I like that, but they're reversal enough to have both.
And you believe it. You believe both these things are happening.
Great. Yeah. It's all plausible. And they mentioned, and throughout all 4 series so far, leading up to this one, about the incident that happened in New York. So you know it's part of the same universe, but they're just acknowledging it, but it's going to still be its own separate thing, which I think is a nice balance the way I would do it. So I really appreciate that. You know, I mean, it's funny to see Jessica Jones and all that, and Luke Cage, because they had a thing together too early on, because in the comics they do get married and end up having a kid. So it's funny to see how it's going to work. That he's kind of with the night nurse, so it's going to be a funny kind of dynamic of this new series. How's that going to work out? So
yeah, there's a
between
lot
those
of cool
characters,
things that
I
are
think
going
it's
to.
going to be funny. Oh yeah, most definitely.
So
And it's funny because I haven't quite finished. Oh, go on.
Oh no, I was going to say if you're going to talk about the rest of Iron Fist.
Yeah, Iron Fist. I haven't finished Iron Fist yet personally, but so far it's really good. And I just wanted to kind of say that I think it's going to be really funny to see, because I don't want to. Still, spoiler alert. Yeah, he ends up losing control of his company in the middle. He gets kicked out, so I want to see if he gets that back, and will he be able to use those resources in this new series. But since I haven't finished all of it, I really can't comment on that. But I just kind of think from where the point I'm at right now, I want to see where that's going to go. So I think that could be really cool too, to see where if that leads anywhere. That's what I wanted to say about that.
So that's going to wrap it up this week. A kind of a slow, nothing really big stuff, just more kind of superficial things happening. But you know, you can't control. Yeah, you can't control what gets talked about. But that's gonna wrap it up this week. Did you want to go over? Are you playing any new games this week or anything?
Well, actually, since Zap Con, I took a couple days off, so the newest game I'm playing is the one right here, Magic Swords. Yeah. So I'll probably be playing tomorrow. You know, after playing all those video games, like, yeah, I'm gonna take a couple of days off.
yeah, we played a ton of games.
Catching up on some animes and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
We I just got I don't know how you specifically pronounce this, but Noen on the PS4. It's actually, I looked at it, it's made by Team Ninja. So I'm like, okay, that's why this game is freaking so dang hard. But I just kind of got past the first kind of tutorial mission. Graphics are cool, the character's great. Hack and slash, you just gotta be smart. You gotta roll, you gotta dodge, you gotta parry. Because even basic enemies can kill you in 2-3 hits. Let alone like the tougher bad guys, they'll tear you up. But once you get a hold of like the how things work with dodging and everything, it's actually pretty cool. So that's gonna wrap up the games I'm getting into right now, because I just started that, so I heard it's a pretty long game, so I'll have a lot of game to play there.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned anything Team Ninja. Yeah, I remember when they were part of Tecmo and they were making good games, but we won't get into that right now.
Yeah, they kind of gone doing their own thing, and we're gonna. But that's gonna wrap up episode 2, and next week we'll would have seen Guardians of the Galaxy. We'll cover that, and any other new stuff that comes up in the week. We'll definitely make sure to cover it, and we'll leave all the different ways you can contact us in the description in the bottom. Twitter, Facebook, Google+, all that good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. This is Crimson Sin signing out.
And this is M15 seeing Steve.
See y'all next week. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, next week. Yep.